Hey, and welcome back to another episode with Nate and Jared from Ecarriercheck. We hope that you guys are having a great Thanksgiving if you're watching this video. If you're watching a little bit after, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. You guys spent all the time with your family, reflecting on the things you're thankful for and all that good stuff. Jared, today I'm excited to just talk through what these next 6 weeks are going to look like for everyone watching, and maybe just us in general as well.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to talk through some things that maybe you guys can be doing these next 6 weeks to take advantage of the 2025. It's important to start thinking of these things and getting ready to start that new year. So I'm excited to talk about some of the things you took notes on today.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in. Well, first off, if your bellies aren't full and you're not, getting your naps in and enjoying time with your uncle that you don't understand if he's really that cool of a guy or not. But I love this time of year because it's almost like we just put in kind of a little bit of a stop for 6 weeks, Thanksgiving to Christmas to New Year's. Is this kind of time of year where you need to be productive, and this is the time of year where you can sort of get ahead because of some of these productivity tips, right? So we're talking about how to springboard into 2025, how to take your business up just a little bit of a notch, but I think you have to take a step back to be able to go 3 steps forward. And what I mean by that is I think it's important that we reflect. If you get your camera out right now, right, and you look at your phone and you go, what did I do this year? How many of you even remember what you had for lunch, for breakfast?
Same.
Thanksgiving, obviously, you kind of hope you remember. But there's certain aspects of your life where I think it's really important to reflect on what worked, what didn't work. And you can do that same thing not only with, sales calls, your time management, booking trucks. You can kind of break down your business in a lot of different ways and say, okay, what worked, what didn't work? How can I, add AI into 2025, or what can I do to be a little bit better in 2025? And I think those things are really important right now.
No, I agree, Jared. And this is what's super nice about everything we're talking about is whether you're coming into this industry today at the beginning of the year, or if you've been in this industry for many years and you just haven't taken some of these steps or reflecting on your business, this video is for you. So if you guys like what we do and all the tips that we're trying to provide you, please give us a like and subscribe and leave us a review. But let's go into the next part of what you should be doing in this 6 weeks, right? Talk to me about goal setting. Trying to be realistic of what I'm trying to achieve here, and also go into how maybe taking just smaller steps. Everyone wants to get to the end of their goal, but it really just takes time and patience, right?
Yeah.
So maybe talk through some of those things.
Yeah. You know what I love about goals is not so as much obtaining them, right? Goals are meant to be obtained because it's those little wins that help you feel like, okay, I'm progressing, I'm getting further along. But yes, the goals are important, but it's who you become as you try to get those goals. That's the key, right? And when you're sitting there going, okay, here are these 10 things I've got to get accomplished, the question you should ask yourself is, am I just assigning myself tasks, or am I actually setting myself goals, right? Our task goals to a certain extent, right? But I think what's really important is that you want to go, okay, hey, I'm going to accomplish this. I want to gain $5,000 a week in margin. Or as a driver, I want to hit this many miles a week, or I want to lower my maintenance costs, and here are 3 things I'm going to do in order to lower my maintenance costs. I think it's really important that you set some large, big, hairy, audacious goals, like Jim Collins says, and says, hey, I'm going to do $1 million this year. Well, how am I going to do it? And under those goals, you're going to sit there and go, okay, day to day, here's what I'm going to do. Week to week, here are things that I'm going to reflect back on. Month to month, I'm going to go back and say, okay, did I accomplish these things week to week? Because all you have to do is just get a little bit better each day and try to grind each day, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I think about goals.
Yeah, that's really well said. And everything, too, kind of comes back to your reflection. What are you doing that's going to help you achieve those goals in your calendar? What kind of CRM do you have? What are your emails looking like? So everything kind of just reflects back to everything you have or don't have in your business to achieve these goals. So if you're having a hard time achieving some goals, think about what you got in place. What do you possibly need? So everything just kind of goes back to that reflection, in my opinion, which I love. I love reflecting.
I do too. I got to say, if you show me your calendar, the old saying, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Yep.
You show me your calendar, I'll show you what you focus on, right? if I go through, I remember looking back at employees that I've hired and had an opportunity to train and manage, and you can always tell where their focus was when it came to their calendar, right? And so, when you're reflecting back and you're thinking about your goals, go through your calendar first. Start in January and go, man, I didn't set up a lot of meetings, or I didn't touch base with people. When you're categorizing your goals, we're talking a lot about goals. Boy, I think it's really important. Number one, how do you grow yourself? What are you doing every day to grow yourself? And that could be taking a class in something that scares you. You've got to grow yourself. And so what's your growth plan? What is that thing that you're doing? Number two is, who are the relationships that you're going to try to grow this year or meet this year? Or how are you going to grow your relationship circle, right? Because those things are going to make a difference on the rest of it. How's your business going to grow? Well, your business is going to grow because I'm going to get better at sales. Your business is going to grow because I'm going to build 5 new relationships every month, whether they benefit me or benefit them. And we're going to focus on those 2 things in order to get better. Making sure that you're setting your goals and thinking through, okay, I need these things in front of me. You got to put them on your mirror. You got to, you just got to be kind to yourself. You got to hold yourself with a little bit of grace, because it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be a straight line to your goal. Right?
Yeah. Well said, Jared. Appreciate that. One thing we talked about, or we always talk about, are objections. How are the objections going? How do you see them going within these 6 weeks? Like, you've been through this as a broker. What are some of the objections that you're hearing or seeing, especially this time of year? Trying to jump into 2025.
Yeah, I think objections are kind of interesting, and I'm going to give you just a little bit of a peek behind a curtain here. This wall right here. Have you ever painted a wall, and then have you ever had somebody paint a wall for you?
Yeah. Right?
When you paint a wall, you see every single error. You see every single drip. You see every spot that you go, good God, well, how did I miss that? Right? And you hold yourself way more accountable than you would if you had somebody paint it for yourself. Okay? These next 6 weeks, you're going to hear this objection, consistent objections. You've got to give yourself grace. Are you going to land on count the next 6 weeks? I hope you do. Right? Here's what you're going to hear. There's 3 main objections, right? The number one is, I'm not going to make any decisions until after the holidays. We're not making any decisions until after the election. Come on, stop it. We're not adding anyone right now, right? You hear that one. So you've got, I'm not adding anyone until then. We're not adding anyone right now. And then, we're good. We've got our current carriers, we've got our current brokers, and all 3 of those objections are just a layer of, you haven't built up enough trust with them in order for you to gain their business or even have a conversation, right? And so here's what you're going to say, okay? Here's what we're going to do. Here's the action plans for you to kind of, how do we address each of these, right? We're not doing anything until after the new year. I completely understand. You're going to acknowledge the objection. You acknowledge all these objections, right? But I think what's important is you say, hey, I completely understand that you're not adding anyone until after the holidays. Would you mind if there's something that I could do prior to, after the holidays that would help me get an upper hand to anyone else, and pause? Or you say, hey, I completely understand. I'll touch base with you after the holidays. Is there a good time that we could actually maybe set in the calendar now that would make sense for you? Pause. Let them respond, right? Number 3 is, you're going to go, hey, I completely understand you have your own carriers and brokers. All I'm wanting to do is see if I can give you a comparison quote for what 2025 is going to look like, and see if there may be a fit with us in certain parts of the business. Overflow. Maybe they struggle in New England. Maybe they struggle with Texas. Maybe they struggle with oversize, right? Making sure that you're trying to hear them, and then you've got to start building layers of trust, right? After you have those conversations, it's not just another email. It's not another phone call. It's, let's send them things that help them understand what 2025 is like. Imagine you're in their shoes. What do you want to hear from your brokers? What do you want to hear from your carriers? You want to hear, oh, here's something about fuel. Here's something about their industry. Here's something about inventory that may make their life a little bit different with what's going to happen this year. Here's some, movement you're seeing from West Coast to East Coast and rates in there, right? Take 12 minutes and write them a friggin' handwritten card and send it in the mail, right? So we've got to start building trust, and this is a great time of year to let things marinate a little bit.
Well said, Jared. That's really good stuff, honestly. This next 6 weeks, it's grind time.
Oh,
You know, I know it's a little bit slower, but it's still grind time just to kind of get yourself ready to go for 2025.
Yeah.
So lock in these next 6 weeks. If you need some assistance or just some ideas on what maybe you could be doing, hit us up.
Yeah.
You know, we're available. We'd love to talk through some of those ideas. You know, Jared, obviously today is Turkey Day. I'm excited. You know, what's your favorite meal, or I guess maybe side dish, that you're most interested in digging into, man?
Yeah, I'm always a traditionalist. You give me some turkey, tons of gravy, mashed potatoes, and of course stuffing. I can honestly, I've eaten both stuffings, the really cheap version out of a box and homemade. Doesn't matter as long as it's got good gravy.
Yeah.
That's how I'm at.
Gravy's everything, man.
Gravy is absolutely everything. What I love about Thanksgiving, you know, I'm just so... There's no gifts. There's no expectations about this friggin' holiday.
Yeah.
Gratitude really kind of puts things in perspective of what I have.
Yeah.
And what I have is enough, right? And so I'm a big believer in just that gratitude, that Thanksgiving. There's no gifts.
Yeah.
I just have to show up and make a good Thanksgiving.
That's fair.
And this is what bags are for turkeys.
Yeah.
And this is what TikTok is for, so I can get good recipes.
Yeah. I love it, man.
Set it and forget it.
I love it.
So,
you know, I can't thank you guys enough for, you know, just watching our videos. We hope that you guys take a thing or two away from us. If you like what you see and want more of it, please subscribe to our channel. Leave us a review. Shoot us an email. Maybe give us some ideas. But we guys hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time off. If you're getting a few days off, enjoy it. Take some time to reflect. You guys.